on AM 1300 KGLO.
It is the Greater Mason City Chamber of Commerce Be Our Guest program here on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO, streaming online at KGLOAM.com and on our KGLO News, KGLO News Facebook page. And this is, as we talked about with Nate Ruge last week for the Greater Mason City Chamber of Commerce, a program that we had on our stations in the past, and we wanted to bring it back because we always enjoy showcasing some of the great businesses and places that are members of the Greater Mason City Chamber of Commerce. And a great place that we are going to talk about today is the Music Man Square here in Mason City. And Alli Day, the program coordinator, joins us to talk a little bit more about Music Man Square. And good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, I would assume there might be one or two people out there that may not know what Music Man Square is. I mean, obviously, everybody in this building does because I hope Delina Bars, who is on the Mason City Foundation Board, which oversees Music Man Square, she sits in an office that's right beneath us and
yes,
is on that board. But so we definitely know about Music Man Square. But for people who don't know about Music Man Square, what is Music Man Square?
Well, Meredith Wilson, our hometown boy and composer, is the feature of Music Man Square. So the inside is the 1912 streetscape that is a direct replica of the Warner Brothers movie. We've got Meredith Wilson's boyhood home, and then we have a museum mostly dedicated to him and his musical works. We have his original first Grammy that he ever received is right here in our town. So we have all of that. And then we are also the home to lots of great programming, wedding events, social events here in town. So we do a lot of things at Music Man Square.
Well, it's hard to believe that has been open for 25, or we're on our 25th year now for that being open.
Yes. So part of it was open. The streetscape was open 25 years ago, and the museum, it will be 25 years next year. So we're doing a big 25th celebration next year because it's also Meredith's 125th birthday next year.
I'm sure there's been a lot of people who've known about Music Man Square, have been through the streetscape part, but that museum part is definitely, if you're a Meredith Wilson buff or a music historian or a historian in general, that is really something you want to try to go through because there's a lot of things in there that are definitely not out on the streetscape.
Absolutely. There's a lot of incredible things in there. It is so fun to get to hear stories of people who come. We had a gal fly in from Pennsylvania the other week just to see the museum because of all of the incredible things that we have in there. It's going to have some renovations, which we'll announce at our soiree. You'll get to see some of that coming in November. But so many incredible artifacts in there and pieces from music history, musical history. It's really incredible.
That Grammy that's there, that is the first.
That is it. It's the one.
Yep. I mean, that's just a historical piece in itself as well. To have the first Grammy Award,
right,
in the history of that award. I mean, look at how many Grammys have been given out, and just to see number one is right there.
Exactly. It's so cool to get to just see it and think like you're that close to that original piece of history. It's awesome. There's several programs for kids and adults alike that go on all the time at Music Man Square. And I know you probably want to try to highlight some of those that are coming up for folks. Yeah, that's part of my job today. Yeah. So as the new program coordinator, I get to plan events for children and adults. We can sneak peek some of the things coming this fall for you while I'm here this morning. So we're pretty excited. We've had such a fun summer and there's more fun to come. Next week, we are starting our Taylor Swift ukulele class.
Swift ukulele.
You got it. Beginning ukulele class.
Okay.
All Taylor Swift songs. It is a big hit. In fact, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 places available in the class yet. So the kids will be having a lot of fun doing Taylor Swift songs and Taylor Swift themed activities. So we have that coming up. It's a 4-class event that'll happen starting July 14th. We have a glow party coming up next week for kids. So lots of black light and neon and fluorescent. And it will be a ton of fun. And next week, we got a real busy week, is our Prince and Princess Tea Party.
Okay.
And that event is sold out, but we are taking waitlist places in case there's kids who can't come. So lots of fun coming up, even just in this next week. We also host weekly Mondays with Meredith, which is a story time with songs and snacks and games right out by the Meredith Willson statue. So we do it on Mondays with Meredith at 10 o'clock.
Good place to have it, right outside there and gathering
Super
around.
fun. Yeah. And if it's not nice, of course, we go inside.
Right.
But yeah, we're right there by the boyhood home and his statue, and it's beautiful weather. It's super fun to get to do that with the kids and let the community just see how much fun we're having right there.
Well, as you mentioned, you've taken this program coordinator position. Maybe
Yes.
just go through your history of, but prior to taking this position at the Square.
Yeah. So I actually have spent the last 21 years in education as a music teacher for the most part, serving both here in Mason City and in the Central Springs School District. So spent a lot of years doing that. And a couple of years ago, I purchased Kids Make Music from Deb Nielsen, which is the kinder music type program. And from that was asked, can you do summer events last summer? And I did. And now this summer, it has become my real job. And I love it.
It's fun. It's got to be fun just to come up with, well, like I say, you come up with a Taylor Swift ukulele program. I mean, that's something that I would have never thought of. And a lot of people wouldn't have thought of. But I mean, that gets the kids interested. And, I almost thought that I was going to ask if there's a spot open for adults there too. No.
Well, you know what? We've had others say that, and we are looking at doing something over the winter months for adults. Taylor Swift, or I don't know, we might come up with something else fun for them.
Yeah, I mean, the ukulele is an interesting instrument, to say the least.
It sure is. Sure is.
Talk a little bit more about obviously the building is to carry on the legacy of Meredith Willson. And as you mentioned, somebody came in from Pennsylvania here recently, but there's a lot of people that come in throughout the United States, maybe even the world, that come to visit this facility and learn more about the background of Meredith Willson and the boyhood homers right next door, of course, too, as well.
That is true. We have people every year that come from. We have a map in our office where we highlight all of the different states that people come from every month and keep stats. I know last year we had 20,000 people come through our doors, whether that was for events or weddings or craft shows or just our tourism. And last year's tourism was 8,000 people coming from all over, unique individuals. And over 4,000 of those were just for our Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas event. So we see a lot of people in the month of December.
Talk about that event. That's always popular every year around Christmas time because the streetscape becomes something a little bit different with those trees coming in.
It is like a magical winter wonderland. I'll be honest, one of my favorite things is at the end of the night when all the other lights are off and it's just the trees, to get to stand in there. It's all lit up and just absolutely gorgeous. So it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at Music Van Square. That'll be kicking off on November 28th this year. So the Saturday right after Thanksgiving, in conjunction with the Home for the Holidays with Visit Mason City. So it's going to be a fun event. The entire streetscape, Madison Park, and the museum are filled with trees. And we still have some trees available for people to sponsor. So you pay, we provide the tree and the lights, and you get to decorate it however you want. And there is a decorating competition for that as well. So one of my favorite events. Santa will come. We've got caroling happening. So all of that is coming November 28th.
You mentioned the other event, one of the other events coming up here in the near future, the soiree. Mm-hmm. And maybe just talk about what that is and what it, before we talk about where, when that'll be.
So the soiree is our annual fundraiser event. It is a plated fancy dinner that we have that evening. The trees are up during that, and you get to learn about all of our plans for the year, all of our big plans. There's a silent auction, and as long as nothing changes, we charge you $76, like 76 trombones, to come to the event. It is a beautiful, wonderful night. Trees are lit. It's dark outside. It is a magical way to kind of start off that holiday season feeling with us at the square. So that'll happen November 20th this year.
So right before Thanksgiving.
Right before. Yep.
Any other programs that you want to talk about that are coming up?
Well, we are super excited, not only for those 3 that are starting next week for kids programming, but we've got an Opus camp returning to the square. So Opus is the 5th through 9th grade honor choir for the whole state of Iowa. And the kids for that have about 2 weeks after the school year starts to audition. And then they're put up against kids from the whole state. So they can come to our camp. It is August 4th and 5th, and they get to learn the music early and work on it. We'll give them some tips and some pointers, and they have a couple extra weeks to work on that music. And then in August, we are doing Snack Attack, which is a cooking class with kids.
Okay.
That class will be so they can learn healthy cooking without using the stove or microwave, so they can make healthy snacks when they get home from school, because we're right before school starting with that. So that is happening this fall. Get ready. We're having Baby and Me type classes for our littlest musicians. There is a youth choir coming to Music Man Square this fall. And after the first of the year, we're actually beginning a dementia choir. So it's out of a program called The Giving Voice. And it is for anyone in any stage of Alzheimer and dementia and their caregiver and other community members. And over the process of the rehearsal, oftentimes their memories come back for a while. So it ends with a snack and social time while their memory is back, and they get to share who they are, the parts that they remember at that point. So super exciting to get to bring that to North Iowa.
A unique program.
Very unique.
Yeah, I mean, because I know there's, certain things that can help dementia patients, and music, of course, the something that, one way or the other, everybody enjoys music one type of another, and that's a great way for great to have that type of a program.
Yeah, we are so excited to get to offer it. So we are working with the Giving Voice now to get everything off the ground and rolling, and we'll launch it right after the first of the year. So everyone has to stay tuned to our Facebook page. We're in the process of redoing our webpage right now, but our Facebook page has all the most current information that we have, as well as registrations for all of our events on there.
In the boyhood home next door, a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people forget about that. Obviously, it's right there when you walk in, but that is a very unique place to go in as well. I mean, it's definitely a throwback when you go in that into that house.
It sure is. We have tons of things from the Wilson estate. It has recently, as people have driven by, they've maybe noticed the color has recently changed in the last year. It is back to what Meredith's mother picked when they built the home.
Okay.
And that's actually part of where my love of Music Man Square sort of started. I was a docent there right out of high school in my first year of college. And then when I moved away to go to a different school, I had to give that up, but I have loved that home my entire life. So the fact that I get to be right there and occasionally get to take people through is so incredible. And just the thought that was put into every detail of that home is just incredible. So Amy, who gives tours at the square, is amazing, giving you all the history and so much fun.
I remember when the cast of The Music Man, which performed here in Mason City earlier this year, visited Music Man Square and visited the home specifically, and I was able to take the tour with some of the cast members of the home, and there were definitely eyeballs that were popped out, and they were just to say they were amazed is definitely an understatement. I mean, their whole trip to Music Man Square and the boyhood home, it's just amazing to see their faces and the reactions and whatnot.
Yeah, I got to be there that day, and that was one of my favorite moments. Coming down the stairs, there's a big picture of Meredith, and a couple of the actors stopped and touched the picture and just said, "Thank you for writing this show so we could be in this place." And it nearly brought me to tears, just how connected they were. The little boy playing Winthrop walked in and, "It's our house." And they were so excited to get to be there and see all of the things. And, I'm going to put a plug in for us. It is only $10 for adults to come and see the museum. You get the museum and the boyhood home. I can tell you that I have spent way more than that for way less at different other tourist attractions. So this is really a great deal and a great thing for people in Mason City to come and see. Even if you've been there 20 years ago, things are new now. Come back and check it out again.
You mentioned docents. Are you always looking for volunteers?
We are always looking for volunteers, and it doesn't necessarily have to just be walking through the house. You
Sure.
could come and scoop ice cream.
Yeah.
You could come and sit on the porch and greet people when they come into the Music Man Square. You could run the cash register in the gift shop. You could help, even if someone who loves doing flowers wants to come and help make it beautiful in that way. We are always looking for volunteers of all different kinds. So just contact the square and let us know what you like to do, and we'll help you find a thing you can do there.
Best way to contact the square?
The best way is really through our Facebook page. So just the Music Man Square
Right.
on there, or you could call to the square. Our number is 641-424-2852.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we let you go?
Thank you so much for having us here today. We'll see you at the square.
Absolutely. I'll be there sometime soon, I'm sure. So,
Sounds good.
Alli Day with the Music Man Square. It's been the Be Our Guest program brought to you by the Greater Basin City Chamber of Commerce here in your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO.